Alright, what's going on, guys? Today we're gonna watch a video from the Flight Mic about basically the end of Isaiah Thomas's career. I haven't seen it yet. Hopefully you guys go watch it, and I'll put a link to it in the description as well. Alright, let's get started.
I know you've expressed frustration at inability to develop chemistry during this stretch, but during that fourth quarter run, did you see things that you can build upon moving forward?
Yeah, we had a lineup in there that just played hard, played fast, covered for one another, and we shared the ball and was able to knock down some shots, energy and effort. And, I thought Stanley was phenomenal today.
Been a minute since you last seen me, and that's mainly to do with the fact that I am just recovering from COVID. I think I have like 2 days left until my quarantine officially ends, and my voice...
Well, that's pretty funny, because I'm stuck in a quarantine right now, too. I get out of that tomorrow, but, yeah. I'll get right back into it, just thought I'd mention that.
Voice is starting to finally feel like it once did, which is great because now I could get back to what I absolutely love doing the most, and that's complaining about the Los Angeles Lakers. Before we get to that, just a reminder, I'm giving away $500 to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel, and in addition to that, we're giving away $500 to anyone that follows us on Instagram.
Yes, giveaway time. No, I'm just kidding, I like this guy's videos.
Now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro.
Get him! Shut up!
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Yesterday we got the honor and opportunity to watch the Los Angeles Lakers get absolutely decimated on national television. And ultimately, LeBron James gave a really horrific excuse for why the Los Angeles Lakers aren't performing well currently.
Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody's going to feel sorry for our record, or nobody's going to feel sorry for guys out, because everybody, besides, I think, like Golden State and Phoenix, everybody has guys out, so...
When he said the Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns were the only teams that are currently at full strength. And if you look at the Golden State Warriors, they don't have Klay Thompson, they don't have James Wiseman, they didn't have Andrew Wiggins, Andre Iguodala, Damian Lee.
Yeah, that's just kind of a mess up there from LeBron in that interview. I think the Warriors are legit, but the Lakers got some moves to make before the deadline, or else they're going to be in some serious trouble.
Or Moses Moody, and they were still able to beat the Phoenix Suns yesterday in their Christmas Day matchup. And to the Phoenix Suns' credit,
yeah, obviously the Suns are also legit, I think. I don't know. Maybe you guys give me some input on that one, but
they didn't get embarrassed on national television. So props to them, because for the Los Angeles Lakers, we can't say the same. Now, I know all the Russell Westbrook stands are going to come from my head whenever I come out and say that he performed horribly yesterday. And yes, he isn't the worst player on the Los Angeles Lakers. No, he still doesn't fit in with the Los Angeles Lakers. No, he's not the only reason why the Lakers aren't performing well. He's just one of the many problems that make this team just completely not work. And honestly, having LeBron James sit back and smile and act like everything's okay, and Dwight Howard come out and say, just wait until we get into the playoffs and we're going to figure it out, is just making me a little bit more uneasy, because it just seems like they're not being rational, or they don't show any urgency in regards to how bad the situation currently is. Well, one of the band-aids the Lakers had in order to at least try to get them some moves from morale was signing guys Thomas to a contract.
yeah, Celtics and I really wanted us to do this. But no, it's definitely not going to happen after the way that he's kind of underperformed for them. He had that one really good game. But after that, his just efficiency's been really bad, and obviously brings nothing on the defensive end.
And to be honest, I really was happy for IT the moment he got his opportunity. I think at heart we are all rooting for Isaiah Thomas to succeed wherever he goes. Even though he might not be the player he once was in 2017, he is still one of the best basketball underdog stories in the entire NBA, both him and LiAngelo Ball, and we all just want to see him succeed. But unfortunately, it seems like this tenure that Isaiah Thomas might have had with the Los Angeles Lakers is coming to a close. Now, bear in mind, Isaiah Thomas, during his time with the Los Angeles Lakers, although it was short-lived and he only played 4 games, was not really good. Overall, he averaged 9.3 points per game, shot 23% from 3, had a 31% field goal percentage, and it just seemed like he was an absolute defensive liability. As a matter of fact, his total box plus minus was negative 8.8, box plus minus being a negative 9, and his box minus being a negative 2.9 as well. When you look at his rating, 3.5, he didn't play a handful of minutes, but in those 4 games, he didn't really watch show, hey, the Los Angeles Lakers definitely need to sign this guy. He definitely deserves another chance. He had a good first 2 games. I mean, 19 points for 5 of 12 shooting in his first game, 13 points for 5 of 11 shooting in his second game, and then in his third game against Phoenix, he was 1 of 11 from the field, and then against the Spurs, he was 1 of 5, and he didn't really play during the Christmas game against the Brooklyn Nets, especially after the Los Angeles Lakers went ahead and signed Stanley Johnson and Darren Collison, who, by the way, were the absolute definition of rusty in their debut against the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, Darren Collison was literally giving out 4 plays to the Brooklyn Nets. Stanley Johnson just was an absolute offensive liability. They would just leave him wide open for 3, and he would brick wide open 3s. But hopefully as time goes on, they get it together and maybe they can become contributors. But as for Isaiah Thomas, unfortunately, his time with the Los Angeles Lakers has come to a close, because according to Champ Charania, the Los Angeles Lakers and Isaiah Thomas won't do a second 10-day contract, making him a free agent. Now, the good news is that this might not be it for Isaiah Thomas's tenure in the NBA, because multiple teams are expected to express interest in Isaiah Thomas, who averaged 9.3 points in 4 games for the Los Angeles.
I feel like he played well enough to at least earn another 10-day with somebody, but it still sucks to see him play like that, considering that as a Celtics fan, I watched him be an MVP candidate in 2017. He was really good before that, too. It just sucks to see a guy just fall like that just because of injuries, basically. He just lost a step.
Lakers. Now, yeah, this might be the end for Isaiah Thomas, the Los Angeles Laker, but I could see multiple other teams hitting up IT for an opportunity to at least ride the bench for the rest of the season, and at least he'll get a decent paycheck for doing that. I don't think Isaiah Thomas is ever going to get to that point where he's absolutely dazzling us as he did in 2017. He went through a huge hip injury. Unfortunately, he's kind of a liability on the defensive side of the floor. That one season, it should be appreciated the same way we appreciate Lynn's sanity in today's day and age, and it was a remarkable season. It's also important to note that this was going to happen to Isaiah.
See, I disagree with that one right there. I feel like Isaiah Thomas was good before the hip injury. Like, he was averaging 20 a game with the Suns and stuff like that. So it's not like that season just came out of nowhere. Was he, like, significantly better that season than most seasons? Yeah, but he was a 20-point-per-game scorer for most of his career. At least, like, 15. So he was a really quality starter for most of his career before that. It's just people don't really remember it because he was playing on crappy teams.
Isaiah Thomas, no matter what. He was signed during a time where the Los Angeles Lakers were absolutely desperate for guard play, and they still are very desperate for guard play. I mean, they're without Kendrick Nunn and Rajon Rondo currently, but at the time that Isaiah Thomas was signed, Russell Westbrook was in COVID protocols. The Lakers still didn't have Kendrick Nunn back. Malik Monk was also in COVID protocols, and they recently were able to get some of those players back. So that kind of made Isaiah Thomas was expendable, and unless if he came out and absolutely tore it up on the court during this 10-day contract, which he didn't, then he wasn't going to sign with the Lakers anyway. It seems like a lot of old players might come back to the NBA. J.R. Smith is trying to come back, Michael Beasley's trying to come back, so it'll be interesting to see what the Lakers do in order to become somewhat better, but honestly, it's not looking good if you're a Los Angeles Laker fan at this point. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this, man. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
Alright, so yeah, that was a really good video. Go check this guy out. He shows like a couple other videos, yeah. Go check him out. He makes some really good videos. He does good editing and stuff. Yeah. So he has a ton of videos too. Yeah. So as you see, I'm subscribed to him on that account. So you should definitely.
I know you've expressed.
But yeah, that'll wrap up the video. I will see you guys next time, and